Hello again. We are back with Angus Geddes of Fat Profit. So it almost seems like a sense of deja vu. Australia experienced a hung parliament back in 2010. Now, is that going to happen again? I mean, it's a double dose of uncertainty. You've got Brexit and you've got this domestic political turmoil.
Yeah, look, it could happen. It could happen.
What are the chances?
But I think probably maybe a 20 or 30% probability.
Okay.
I think the coalition are probably going to get there. They will sneak in with 76. Fingers crossed. It's going to be a very close election. It is similar to what we saw back in 2010. And, you know, it's going to have significant ramifications for the financial markets and for Australia generally. If we see not so much a hung parliament, but negotiations going on with the crossbenchers and deals being done.
The ratings agencies, Fitch and Moody's, have been very clear that this could result in a downgrade. Yet there has been no shortage of buyers. When you look at the Aussie dollar, ran up close to 76 against the USD, the ASX, the local property market, Australian bonds. Is this the new contrarian view trade?
Look, I think the markets are looking through the short-term noise and seeing political resolution with the coalition maintaining the status quo. That's the way I read it. And, you know, as you rightly point out about the Australian dollar, it wouldn't be rallying as much as it has. You know, if there was a good probability that the coalition were going to lose power and there's going to be deals done with the crossbench and the debt rating, compromised.
Just across the Tasmania, I heard that there's a parity party going on. Is that going to happen with the Kiwi dollar?
With the Kiwi dollar? Well, you know, it's sort of happened before.
Right.
If champagne's on ice. Look, it could happen. Look, I think if you look at the RBA and if you look at the Australian economy, we're probably going to get another interest rate cut before the end of the year.
After all, this week's RBA meeting was non-eventful as widely predicted. But so what are the chances this rate cut is going to happen next month?
Look, I think the RBA is keeping the powder dry. Glenn Stevens is stepping down, so there's going to be a transition. But certainly before the end of the year, that's what the markets are pricing in, that we're going to get one more rate cut. And that'll bring Australia's interest rates back into line with the rest of the world. New Zealand's still got quite high real interest rates, and that's why we're seeing the Kiwi outperform relative to the Aussie.
So what is that going to do to the resources plays that have also been supporting the local market, share markets?
Well, look, we're bullish on commodities, and I think the commodities have reached an inflection point, and that's going to help Australia. And certainly if we see any further weakness in the Australian dollar, which is not looking likely in the near term, that's going to help a lot of the commodity producers. But even at 75 cents, the gold producers are making supernormal profits with, Australian dollar per ounce sort of hitting around $1,800, $1,900.
And what would be your near-term target for the ASX? What's the next hurdle?
Well, I think the ASX can, provided that we get closure on the election. I think the ASX can get 57, 5,800, provided we see the stability that's been coming through in the commodities continue, and we had a pretty good week.
Provided we don't get this resolution, the fact that Australia has been recession-proof for the past 25 years, sailed through the global financial crisis. So does that record falter?
Well, they don't call Australia the lucky country for nothing. If there is a hung parliament, if the debt rating of Australia is compromised, we may well find that Australia is staring down the barrel of the first recession in some time.
Yeah, and you're planning to raise about $50 to $60 million through an IPO sometime soon.
We're looking.
Do you think the market will be as receptive to your IPO plans as they have been to the Aussie dollar, for instance?
Well, I think if we're right on the call that the Australian market's going to go to 57, 5,800, hopefully October could be quite a good month to go.
Okay, well, timing is everything in life. Well, have a safe trip back to Sydney. Really appreciate your thoughts, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Claire.
Angus Geddes there.